Okay, so good evening everyone. I am Venugopal Mahajan. This is live session for week 2 of the course Introduction to Accounting and Finance for Civil Engineers by Professor Sudhir Mishra of IIT Kanpur and Professor Gain Jha of IIT Delhi. So the last time we covered some questions related to construction equipment, comparison of alternatives, time value of money, and so on. In this session, we will be covering comparison of alternatives, present worth, future worth, benefit cost ratio, incremental rate of return method, and sensitivity analysis. This is an interactive session, so the queries you ask, the more you ask, the more we can discuss. Okay, so I'll start with the. Yeah. Sorry, can you please repeat? Yeah, actually, uh, no, actually, it happens that yeah, actually, we cover assignment. We cover the week only after submission date of assignment is over. Yeah. Uh, See, as assignments are part of your assessment, I mean, you get marks for that. So for that, I can't cover those while the assignment is running. In case of in that case, but you can ask the questions or the generic doubt you have on the discussion forum anytime. And you would feel that assignment is over now, why do we need the session now? Because if you are planning to give the exams, mm, exam will have a higher weightage of questions very similar to assignments, so in that case this would be very useful. Okay, so coming to question, compare the following alternatives: alternative R and alternative S. We have been given their initial cost and annual expenses. N is equal to 5, I is equal to 15%. So what method will we use? Uh, Anyone wants to contribute? Like, what method will you prefer? Okay, see here what kind of cash flow you have is basically an outgoing cash flow, right? I mean initial cost, annual expenses. So you are spending. So you can do it in both ways. Like either mm, you can compare their present worth or their future worth or annual worth, but you can't calculate the rate of return. Why? Because there is no incoming, right? This is cost dominated. Even if in case of revenue dominated cash flows, you can't have the rate of return. So you guys have calculator with you. Can you guys help me solve this? So let's calculate the present worth. So what would be the present worth? If this is uh, if this is P1 and this is A, so the present worth would be P1 plus A, find P given A, comma 5 comma 15%, right? So in both cases, let's say it would be 6.5 lakh plus zero point 0.9 into some factor. How do we find this factor? Anybody?
raised to n upon 1 plus I raised to n minus 1.
Uh, okay. Yeah, from table also we can get, no? So,
From table we can get that.
yeah. Let's try doing it with the help of the table. This is from Professor Jha's book. For I is equal to 15% and n is equal to 5. Can you see my screen?
No.
Mm, okay, I will write the values directly. For p by a at n is equal to 5 for I is equal to 15%, we get 3.352. So how much does it come? Can you guys calculate? 9.5. And similarly for the other case, this is for alternative R, right?
Here that will be 9.84 for PP.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
For the other case, alternative S, it is 9.843 cc.
9.84. So now you have got two present worth. Which one will you pick?
Which one? The one which has a higher value.
Okay, yeah, right. So here, why higher? Higher or lower? Yeah, this is cost, right? So in terms of cost, we'll take the lower value. Okay. Yeah, these all signs should be negative, but if we are talking only in terms of one and we take care of the signs, we see that this is the cost, so we will pick the alternative with lower cost. Now, for the second question, we have got equipment A and equipment B. Their initial cost, lifespan, annual maintenance cost, and salvage value is given. Now, as you can see that here we get a salvage value. So that means that there is some kind of inflow. Still, this is a cost dominated cash. This is cost dominated situation, right? I mean, most of the time we are paying initial cost and annual maintenance cost. So, but the problem here is that the lifespans are different, 2 years and 3 years. So, how to solve this question? So, when we come in this situation with different lifespans, you can have a comparison, but you need to equalize this. So, it can be that you take LCM. So, 2 and 3 for 6 years, you make the cash flow for each and solve it. Or for if you have been given that, okay, the project life is some value, like project life is given 2 years. So, you only need to take care till 2 years, right? So, you make the cash flow for 2 years and compare it. Is there any confusion? Can you guys do this on your own?
Yes, but if you do it in front of us, it will be better for us.
Okay, okay. So we'll do for equipment A. We have got outflows, right? Uh, 16,000. Then let's say this is 1, 2. Lifespan is 2 years only. 3000 for both years, and 4000 this side. Mm, Just j- just give me a moment. So this happened for first year and second year. Now what will happen is that at the end of second year we will need to buy the equipment again, and here we will take cost equivalence. We won't uh, change it. I mean, we won't adjust for inflation and all. Do you guys follow the till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So we have been given that we have to solve this question by present worth method. So for present worth of equipment A, we can see that there is 3000 occurring at the end of every year for 6 years. We'll take one by one. Okay, present worth of A is equal to minus 16,000 plus or minus again minus 3000 P given A, 15% for 6 years, minus 16,000 P given F, 15% at the end of second year, minus 16,000 P given F, 15% at the end of fourth year, plus, okay, I should write it down, plus 4000. It would be again P given F, right? 15% at the end of 2 years, plus 4000, 15% at the end of 4 years, plus 4000, 15% at the end of 6 years, right? Did I miss any value? We have got 3 lives for that, 6 years of annual maintenance, and 3 times salvage. Have I written it correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so similarly for equipment B, if we are planning, it would be 22,000 going to uh, 22,000, and annual maintenance we have 4,000 for 3 years. Salvage value again 4,000, then we again buy it. So yeah, so similarly, can you guys write for B also and compare it? Is this point clear till here? I mean, I'm not focusing on the calculations part, I'm focusing on the concept part here. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next question. Suppose you have the alternative of receiving either rupees 10 lakh at the end of 5 years or Y today, and right now you don't need some money, so what you will be doing is whatever you get right now you will be keeping it as FD, and that FD pays you 6.5% per annum. So there is some value of Y that would make you indifferent in your choice between Y today and promise of 10 lakh at the end of 5 years. So what is that value of Y? Did you guys understand the question? What it basically asks, yeah. So what it basically asking for is that 10 lakh is the future worth, Y is the present worth. So if 6.5% is the rate of interest, then when will they be equal? So in this case you can see that Y F given P 6.5% comma 5 is equal to rupees 10 lakh. So Y is equal to 10 lakh by this factor. Again I will go back to search book. Now we don't get so can we solve it directly by formula? This will be 1.065 to the power 5, right? Have I written it correctly? Anybody? Okay, so I will let it be. Yeah, so I'm leaving this for you again. Let's suppose we have a value of Y. If you are
So I think
getting,
at the bottom,
yeah,
-1 you forgot, I think.
uh,
1 plus I raised to n minus 1
where minus 1
at the
should come?
bottom.
See,
Okay, so it's f by v. Okay, okay, sir. Sorry.
yeah,
Correct, correct.
it is correct, right?
I thought about f by v. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
No, I wrote directly P by F.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what's the value? Mm,
72988.08.
okay, 72988.08. 73,000, right?
No, no,
Now
no.
I would diverge here. Let's suppose you are getting 75k today. Will you be happier? Or if you get 70k today, will you be happier?
Sorry. It's 729880.
729880.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that should be 7.3. So, if you're getting 7.5 lakh today or 7 lakh today, which will make you happier? Obviously, if in present you are getting a higher value, if you go by 7.5k, your future wealth will be more than 10, right? Is as this value is greater than 1. So once you multiply 7.5 with some value greater than 1, sorry, it would be greater in this case, right? Y is increasing. I mean,
Because of the 140.
Y is increasing, so this future value will also increase, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this kind of thing we would see in much detail in case of sensitivity analysis later. So similar question, but based on the future worth. 5 lakh now, 10% annually money is increasing. So what should be the minimum lump sum payment? Minimum lump sum payment, I mean minimum 10 at the rate of 10% you have to return him. So x is equal to 5 lakh 1 plus 0.1 to the power 3, right? Okay, you guys should read the question once if you have any doubt. No doubts. Okay, so this value is 6.655 lakh. So if you give your uncle at least this much, if you are returning him this much, then you are paying him at the rate of 10%, and he usually earns that amount, so he is happy. If you give him more than this, he will be happier. He will be earning more. If you return him less than this, he will be sad. Okay. Mm. So coming to the next question, internal rate of return. Have you guys solved? Have you guys found it simpler or tougher than other methods?
So actually, we didn't understand the graph with the NPV and IRR.
Okay. Graph with NPV and IRR.
It's a curve. It's not in a linear relationship. So how can we define that for this NPV we get this IRR?
Mm, yeah, that's true. So uh, let's save this for the sensitivity analysis. I mean, we'll be seeing all kinds of graph in sensitivity analysis. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. Uh, so coming back to this question, IRR method, internal rate of return. So there are two setups, and are they cost dominated or revenue dominated? It's mixed kind of a thing, right? Like you pay 17 once, and each year till the end of how many 10 years, right? You get 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, in second case you are getting 22.5. No, you are paying 22.5 and getting 5 lakh till 10 years. There is no salvage value, just to make the question a little simpler. So the questions become, what is internal rate of return? It is that return, it is that I at which your NPV becomes 0. Now, how do you write the NPV for each case? For A, it would be minus 17 plus 4 P given A I comma 10, right? So the only missing factor here is I. So, and this is equal to 0 if we want to find I. So that makes the value that P by A I comma 10 is equal to 17 by 4. 17 by 4, 4.25, right? For n is equal to 10. So what we can do here is, for n is equal to 10, we can go back to the graphs and see what kind of values it gives. But see here in the table, for n is equal to 10, p by a, I comma n, and 4.5, 4.25, right? So it lies somewhere between 19% and 20%. Can you guys follow it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this means that in this case your I is greater than 19%, less than 20%, and if you solve it by interpolation, it would come around 19.6%. Similarly, in case of B, if we directly write is equal to
So
22.5,
how interpolation will be valid over here? As
yeah,
the curve is,
yeah, it is a curve.
as the hierarchy curve.
Yeah, you can see here it is a curve, but when see, either you can go by doing trial and error. You just keep on putting the values of I, or you solve an equation. Now you see that p by a comma I comma n is a quite big equation in terms of I, right? Either you
Yeah.
keep, yeah, you keep on solving it, or if you just want to compare it, and if the method is similar in both cases, you should get right results, right, in comparison. So that is what we are trying to do. We are comparing, and these two values are quite close, 4.33 and 4.192 and 4.25. The percentage, I mean, the uncertainty is very less now. So we can go for interpolation. Interpolation here is just to save your time. You can obviously solve the whole thing and find the values.
So it is allowed while in the exam.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you have been provided with the table, you can definitely do it. And in exams, it is usually set like that you can get values by interpolation. I mean, even in big ranges, if you do, you will get values. But it is
Okay.
preferred that you find some value quite close. So similarly,
Okay.
if you go in the case of setup B, it would be 4.5. And going back to the table, you can see 4.5 lies in this range, and this is 4.49. So you can say that 4.5 is almost 18%.
Yes.
So this is 18% and this is of 19.6. So that means A gives us better internal rate of return, right?
Right.
Okay. So coming to the next question. In the city center, the council is planning to set up an amusement park and a shopping center. The cost is given rupees 35 crores. The amusement park is estimated to have an annual footfall of 50,000 people with a ticket price averaging rupees 100 per person. So that means that earnings from tickets is equal to what, I guess, 5 lakh or 50 lakh.
It's 50.
Yeah, 50 lakh. And the shopping center has retail floor area of, wait a minute, there's,
100,000 square feet.
yeah, 1 lakh square feet, and rental income of rupees 400 per square feet. So
It would be 4 CR.
is equal to 4 CR.
3
Now
CR.
the project life is assumed to be 20 years and I is equal to 10. So is this project beneficial? What will we do here? See, in this case, it's a public project, So we can go by other methods also, present worth of this investment or annual returns. But in this case, it is preferred to have a cost benefit analysis, benefit cost of analysis. What we see here is that we are taking only economic benefits and economic cost. It might be that in this case there are some tangible, intangible benefits that we quantify in some manner. So here we will go for B by C, benefit cost analysis. Now what is the cost here? Rupees 35 crores and earnings is 4.5 crores. Can we compare them?
Yes, sir.
No, we cannot, because this
Why?
C is initial. It is happening only in the starting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this benefit you are getting is annualized, 4.5 per year
For 20 years.
for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So for comparing these two, you have to equalize them. Now,
So we have to multiply it by 20.
no, not by 20, because we are considering time value of money. I is also given.
Okay.
So either you bring C to annual cost and divide it, or you make B to the present worth, taking it annualized and compare it. Getting my point?
Okay. Yes, yes.
So, what would you like to do? Okay, let's convert 4 into present worth. What factor will we use? See, this is a annualized return, right? So this becomes 4.5 into find P given A for I is equal to 10% and N is equal to 20. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 8.51, what is the value if this factor is
38.295.
yeah, 38.295. Now we can go for B by C because they are in the similar terms. So benefit is 38.295, cost is 35. It is obviously greater than 1, right? So the project is beneficial.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now moving on. A sewage treatment plant has 3 possible schemes of sewage carriage and treatment systems. So you have been given 3 alternatives, R, S, T. You have been given that N is equal to 20 years, and there are 2 I's given. Now you have to find out what you would recommend. So tell me, if you are planning a sewage treatment plant, you can only have one, right? I mean, for a city, you would install
Yes, sir.
only one, right? If it is serving the purpose. So what has been given here is installation cost, annual running cost. This again looks like cost dominated cash flow. I mean
Yeah.
only costs. So installation cost with uh, A
Annual learning cost.
for 20 years. Now how do you compare them? Can we just find out their present worth and compare them? Okay, we will do that once.
So what is the meaning of here two interest rates?
To interest rate. Yeah, initially we were discussing now that NPV and IRR have some kind of a relationship. I mean, if IRR changes, NPV will also change, right? So this problem just brings that thing into numbers so that we can see it clearly.
So can you explain it? Because I think
Yeah, okay. So I will go back to this example. We saw that if P by A is equal to 4.5, your IRR is 18%, right? You will
yeah,
try to remember these values, okay?
yeah.
Uh, Let me admit some people in the meeting and add some empty slides. Okay, so you know that P by A 18% comma 10 years, right, is equal to 4.5, and P by A 19.6% comma 10 is equal to 4.25, right? So let's suppose you are getting 100 rupees for 10 years. What is the present value of this cash flow? You will say I already have n, right? I will need I. I mean, if I ask you to find the present value of this cash flow, you will say you will need I. If I is given 18%, you will say that present value becomes 100 into 4.5, 450 rupees. But if your I increases to 19.6%, your present value becomes only 425. Can you see the change happening? I mean, you are getting 100 rupees every year. Sorry, let's. This won't be here. From 1 to you are getting. Yeah. So you are getting 100 rupees every year for 10 years. But if you take I is equal to 18%, your present value is 450. If you take I is equal to 19.6%, your present value is 425. Why did it happen? I mean, you just saw this thing happening. Can you guys tell me why this happened?
So due to interest rate and compounding.
Yeah, compounding, obviously. I mean, if something is the size also called discounting factor. So when you are increasing it, when you are going towards the future from present value to higher, it compounds at faster rate, so it becomes a bigger value. Similarly, if your I is more, it discounts at a faster rate and it becomes a lower value. I hope you get an idea now. So in this question, we have been given three different schemes. Uh, there is installation cost and there is annual running cost. Let's go with I is equal to 15%. Tell me, how will you compare? You will say just let's compare the present value and find out which one costs lower, and we'll go on with that, right? Or anything else? So for 15%, P by A becomes 6.259, or we will take 6.26. 6.26. So can you guys tell me what is the present value in each case? Present cost. For okay, I'll write it in detail. For R, it would be 18.25 million. This is negative. This is again negative. 7.25 fam into 6.25. Similarly, for S, it would be minus 20.2 minus 4.6 into 6.25. For T, it would be 24.2 minus 4 into 6.25. So can you guys give me the values? Because okay, I will be solving from top. You guys give me the values of T and S. Okay, I wrote 6.25 everywhere. I would make it 6.26.
For the S, it's minus 48.99.
Okay, 48.99.
For T, it's minus 49.24.
Okay, can you check if I have written the right value for R?
Yes.
Okay. So which alternative will you be choosing?
Alternative S.
Alternative S. Okay, you see that S and T are so close here. If we move to I is equal to 10%, let's see how it changes. For 10%, I'll give you the values. Now P by A becomes 8.51. Now tell me, will it change your answer or not?
Yes.
0.6 into 8.5. This is how much?
For R, it's minus 71.37.
Okay, minus 71.37 for R. For S,
For S, it is minus 59.3.
yeah, minus 59.3, and for T, it would come around, I guess, 54 something.
It's minus 58.2.
58 point. Okay. So now your answer is changing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For in this case, your answer is T. You also you saw the variation that happens. So did this drive that point that with IRR changing, your NPV will also change? What is happening is that one of the factors you have kept constant, right? Present value is constant. You are just varying the annual returns and changing I. So we'll move on to next question. Now this is basically on incremental rate of return. Select the best alternative for the given MARR. What is MARR? Anybody? What is MARR? And is this question missing something? Yeah,
Minimum acceptable rate of return.
minimum acceptable rate of return. And what does it help, or why do we use it? Okay, so it happens that you have some money and you have already invested it somewhere, and you are getting some interest, right? You are getting some return out of many other investment opportunities. So when any new opportunity comes, you want to invest it, but if you are already earning 10% from somewhere else, will you put it in venture that is giving you only 8%? No, you will say that my amount is already earning me 10%, so why will I invest it below that? Right? So this is like minimum acceptable. You have defined that it is 10% for you. Okay, so is something missing in this question? N is not given, right? If you see the question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's take n is equal to 10 years. For MARR is equal to 12%. What we have is, here we have P and we have A, again the similar relationships. For MARR is equal to 12% and n is equal to 10, P by A is 5.65. Okay, so what would be our first step? Should we do like every time? I mean, okay, let's try to calculate NPV for each. We can do that easily, right?
Sir.
It would be 1 lakh in negative plus
18,000.
into 5.65,
1,700.
1700, right? Okay. Similarly for B, C, D, E, you can calculate.
For B, it's 1475.
Okay, 1475.
For C, it's minus 2225.
Minus 2225. Some negative value is also coming in our case. Mm, 226.
For
368, I guess, right?
D, minus 3.580.
Minus 3 point.
58.
3.58. I mean, did you miss some zeros or what?
3580, no?
Yeah.
3 point नहीं,
Yeah.
3.3580.
Okay, okay, okay. Similarly for the next,
For E, it's 15648. 15648.
wait a minute. I mean, I am get.
No, 5.65. So
Yeah, for E, I can't believe that it would be that value.
minus 12652.
It is negative, right?
12652.
17283, 5.65. My value is coming minus 10,000.
170 plus 2830 into 5.65.
Okay, what's your value? I will write that one.
Minus 12652.
Okay, 12652. So we have got three NPVs negative and two positive. So, so it's like that. Okay, we only have two alternatives and we will compare them, right?
Yes.
I mean, two alternatives are possible and we can compare them. No, in when you have to select best alternative, it happens that you have one alternative called do nothing, right? Because you are already earning at 10, yeah, 12%. So you also have this alternative, na, that I don't give, I don't invest zero. I will invest 0 rupees. Annual benefit will be zero, but I am already getting at 12%. So this is one alternative always. So you have to check with this. So here you can already see that if you are making rupees 1 lakh investment, it is getting you the benefit of 1700, right? Uh, have I lost you or are you guys here only?
Hello?
Yeah, you guys are here only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will start again. You have do nothing alternative. For alternative A, if you invest 1 lakh, your NPV is 1700. For alternative B, if you invest 1 lakh 20,000, your NPV is 1475. So which one will you select? One with greater NPV, right?
One with greater NPV, yes.
Okay. Uh, so we will come back to this. Let's see what happens if we take MRR is equal to 10%. Okay. We'll see why, if we can compare it directly or not. For 10%, it is 6.14, right?
So for the alternative A,
Yeah.
it's coming around 10520.
Okay. 10520. A lot of return we are getting now. It just we decreased our IRR by 2%. Okay, it is in range of what, lakh or thousands only?
It's in the range of thousands only.
Okay. So let's
For
calculate.
alternative B, it's 12010.
12010. Can you repeat for A?
A,
Hmm?
it's coming around 10520.
10520. For C?
For say it's 9290.
9290.
For D it's 9552.
9552. And for E?
Calculating.
Yeah.
For A it's coming around 3762.
3762. So what alternative will you pick?
B, alternative B.
Alternative B, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this would have been your answer if there were only two alternatives. Now, what is happening is, let me take any two values from here. Okay. Alternative A and alternative B. 18,000 and 21,500. And so and you are getting 18,000 for 10 years, right? And in case of alternative B, you are getting 21,500 for 10 years. I hope my incoming and outgoing are in the right direction. Now let's see what is happening. You say that, oh, this is also giving you interest returns greater than 10%. This is also giving you return greater than 10%. So you had some amount, you invested 1 lakh and you are getting better returns. For B, if you invest in B over A, I mean these are mutually exclusive, so you can choose only one. So if you are picking B over A, what you are doing is you are making additional investment of 20,000 and getting additional return of 3,500, right? If you compare B over A, can you guys follow it till here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we have one saying that every rupee is as good as or as bad as the other rupee. So this amount, this 1 lakh was giving you greater than 10%. This 20,000 already in other investments was giving you 10% return, right? Your MARR is 10.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are adding this 20,000 in your investment, you should obviously get return greater than 10%. I mean, it was already giving you 10% return now. So if you are adding it, it should give you at least this return, right? Do you get an idea why we are comparing it?
Yes, sir.
So for 10% we have for getting greater than 10%, what we have is P is equal to 20k. So and A we have given 3.5k. For 10% we have the value of 6.15, right? 6.14. So NPV of B over A is minus 20 plus 3.5 into 6.14. Is it coming positive or negative?
It is coming positive. 1.49.
1.49. So you see that what extra amount you are paying in case of B, you are getting better returns than 10%, right?
Hmm.
So that's why you would prefer B over A. Got an idea?
Okay.
In
Okay. Okay.
in this case, it so happened that you are getting a greater value. It might happen that if this 3500 were 3000 only,
Hmm.
so initially you would have gotten NPV of B more than A, but that additional 20,000 you are
Okay.
spending, it would have given you less return.
If the value is negative, then we prefer A over B.
Yeah.
Okay.
So coming back to this question, for internal rate of return method, our steps are that first we arrange them in ascending order, right? We are comparing them
Mm-hmm.
in ascending order. Then we check that if they are giving positive returns at the given MARR. So you see that A, B, C, D, E all are giving NPV positive, right?
Yes.
So now we start taking two alternatives at once and compare. So we start with the minimum A. The next best was B. So we took B over A and find out that B is better. Right? We did this calculation. So we will discard A and we will take B. Now similarly we will move on for B over C over B. C over B. So you will say that at the cost of 15,000,
15,000
yeah,
more.
you are getting a return
We're
of
getting
2,000.
2,000.
That means you are getting less than 10%, right? I is less than 10%.
And minus 15 plus.
You can
We
compare
are
it.
getting a negative value.
Yeah, you can compare it right here also that we have got this value, na 6.14. So if
Mm-hmm.
this P by A comes more than 6.14, that means I is greater than 10, right? I is less
Yes.
than 10. Less than, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in C over B, we will discard C and continue with B.
Okay.
Now we will come back to the remaining
So
alternatives
we'll
that,
have to compare all the alternatives, right?
yeah, but we will keep on
Okay.
discarding. Like we discarded A after comparing with B.
Okay. We discarded C after comparing it with
B.
B.
So now B is our
Now we
favorite.
compare B and D.
We compare B and D. So it would be
Okay.
D over B. D over B, you can see that it is you invest 35,000
Around
and get a return
35,000.
of 4,300, right?
Right.
So this value comes around, I mean 35.
5,300.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
coming around 5,300.
yeah, 5,300.
Mm.
So this is 6.6. I mean, again, your NPV would be coming negative.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will discard D. Now we will move on to
Okay.
comparing E over B. So here you have invested 50,000 more and
Yes.
you are getting return of what,
6,800. 6,800.
6,800.
Mm.
So again your NPV
Minus
would be
50.
negative, right?
Yes.
NPV again negative. So your E also gets discarded. So you will be going with B only. In this case, it happened that your answer from NPV calculation initially and after analysis it's same, but it is not necessary. You saw why it is not necessary when you go on comparing, right?
Okay.
So any questions related to uh, incremental rate of return method?
No, sir.
Okay, so we will come to some big questions now. I mean sensitivity analysis. I can't open my page, so I will. You can say that we will be solving it together again. Uh, what is sensitivity analysis?
Basically, a range, what you call it, is like this much amount would be considered as good, or this much amount. It's a range.
Okay, it's a range. Uh, let's see. We'll we'll try breaking it down. Okay. So you are setting up an industry. You went to the market and found out the equipment cost. Now you know its equipment cost. But what about the other things? Like this is the selling price from the uh, manufacturer. So you know that it is going to cost you rupees 20 lakh. What about the annual operating cost, annual revenues? You are estimating these things, right? I mean, you don't know these for sure. Or do you know it? These are the values that are dependent on so many factors, like if your machine is breaking down or if the labor is not operating it nicely, it would ask for more maintenance. If your labor cost increases, your operating cost will increase, or if your labor is well trained, your operating cost will decrease, or your revenues will increase, you will get more production, right? It can happen now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what, so let's write hmm, let's write the net present value for this case. Okay, it would be minus 20 lakh minus 45,000. P over A, I is 10%, and N is again 10, plus 60K plus 100K, but you have been given F here, so P given F 10% comma 10, right? This would be the case. You guys agree? Or any confu? I mean, is this equation correct? I'm not asking you for the values here. I'm asking you about just the equation being correct or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this value is quite fixed. This is again an estimate of your cost. This is an estimate of your revenue. This is an estimate of your salvage value.
Well.
Yeah, and this is some value that is coming. Let's make it x. And these are your constants now. I mean, I is given, n is given, so you are not going to vary them, right? R, S, T, they can be small constants.
Yes, sir.
So, first scenario, what happens if your cost increases? See, if your cost increases, rest of the things remaining the same, negative value is increasing, right? By the factor of r. This r is positive, so it will reduce your NPV. Can you see it from the equation?
Yes, sir.
And it would do it in the linear fashion, right? I mean, there is no squaring, cubing, or under root or anything else, so this will be
Yes,
linear.
sir.
Now in second case, if you see, Uh, what happens if your revenue increases? If revenue
The
increase,
NPV becoming positive,
uh,
becoming more.
yeah, X would be positive.
Mhm.
What happens if your salvage value decreases?
NPV decreases.
NPV decreases. And these all are linear equations. Okay, this was the part that you can see from the equation. Is it clear to everybody what is happening? I mean, we
Yes.
wrote the equation of NPV and there were three estimates. You don't know what exactly would be the cost, you estimated it. You don't know what exactly the revenue would be at the end of the year. You are estimating that at the end of 10 years you will be able to sell it for 1 lakh. It might be possible that it becomes obsolete and you are not getting even 1 rupee for that. Right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, you now know that it would change your NPV. In what case it would increase or what case it would decrease. Now you see that it is getting affected by everything. That means you should calculate everything to the what you can say fourth decimal, fifth decimal very accurately. But it might not be possible. You can't focus on so many variables, right? I mean, you can with the help of machines, but if you have to control them, it would be better to know which variable causes more change, right or wrong.
Yes, sir.
So, how do we find out which is more sensitive? We saw that these are straight lines. So we just find out the slopes, that what are the slopes in these case. If it is, if the slope is higher, that means for a smaller change you are getting big variation in NPV.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, if this is not that intuitionally visible, we will see it in we'll see it with example. Okay.
Okay.
P by A 10 comma 10. uh, Let me see the values. 6.15, 6.144, right? So this is 6.14, 6.14, and 0.385. So can you guys give me the NPV in first case when nothing is changing? Wait a minute, this is 2 lakh, I guess. Yeah, this is 2, okay. This is not 20 lakh, 2 lakh.
Minus 69400.
Again, it's coming negative only.
So,
In with 2 lakh investment also.
like investment also.
Okay, let me just cross check it for a minute. So, if it is coming negative, would you go on with this investment or not?
No, we do not go
Huh?
with this investment. No, 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 we do not go with this investment.
Okay, we'll not make this investment.
Not make this investment because NPV is negative, sir.
Okay, NPV is negative. So, let's make one more change. Instead of 2 lakh, let's bring it to 1 lakh only. What if it's what if its present value is 1 lakh? I mean, present cost is 1 lakh. In that case, is the NPV positive or negative?
The negative also. No, it's coming positive. 30600.
30600. Okay. Yeah, this happened because I made this example for this class only, and I wanted to solve it with you guys. Okay, so we have changed it to 1 lakh, and we are getting positive NPV. Now, let's suppose instead of 45k for the cost, your cost is only 40,000.
Okay.
So what will happen? You will get more returns, right? I mean, your NPV will increase.
Yes.
By what factor?
We're getting almost 61300. Almost NPV is doubled.
Almost NPV is doubled, right? If for 10% change in your cost, there is 100% change in your NPV.
Yes.
So your NPV is more sensitive to cost. Similarly, you will find it more sensitive to revenue. But let's say your salvage value changes from 1 lakh to 1.1 lakh.
It's coming around 65,150.
Uh, no, for which case are you telling?
For the cost, initial cost is 1 lakh. The operating cost is 40,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Revenue is 60,000.
Okay. So 10% reduction in cost is equaling to like 120% or 110% increase in NPV, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now do it for salvage value. Instead of taking it 1 lakh, take 10 lakh. Sorry, take 1.1 lakh. We'll see 10% increase in salvage value.
The previous answer was given for the value of 1.1 for the salvage.
Okay. Now don't change for the cost. Okay, cost you keep it the same. We are taking each element individually, each estimate individually.
Okay. So the initial cost is 1 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
Operating cost is 45,000.
Yeah.
Revenues is 60,000.
Yeah.
And we have to take the salvage value as a 1.1 lakh.
Yeah. So 10% increase in salvage value.
Okay. So the NPV coming around 34450.
344. I mean,
50.
if you increase salvage value by 10%, your NPV is only increasing 10%, right?
Yes.
So you see that you have to take care of cost and revenue more.
Yes.
I mean, if you are changing cost by 10%, your NPV is increasing by 110%.
By 100%.
If you are varying
Yes.
your salvage value by 10%, your NPV is just varying by 10%. So you see that which is more sensitive. You will say cost and revenue.
Cost and operation costs and revenues.
Yeah, why I am telling about revenue also is that the factor is same. Here also 6.14, here also 6.14. The slope of the line is going to be same.
Mm-hmm.
You can try it with revenue also. Increase the revenue by 10% or just 5,000. Like 1 lakh your investment cost, 45,000 cost, your revenue is 65,000 and salvage value is 1 lakh.
It's coming around 61300.
61300. So again you can see 100% increase in NPV.
Yes.
So from this you get an idea that which factors you have to control or which estimates you should know quite exactly. right?
Yes. So okay. Operational costs and revenues are the utmost important in calculating the NPV.
Uh, yeah. One more thing. You see, we were varying NPV so, I mean, present value so much. I mean, if it was 2 lakh, you got minus 69,000. If it
Yes.
was 1 lakh, you got 30,000,
Plus 30,000.
right? So let's do one thing. Instead of having 1 lakh, let's have it 1.1 lakh. We will increase the present cost by 10%. So if you increase the present cost by 10% only,
Okay. The revenue will become 60,000 only. No?
so you see the again you will find that you need to know the exact price that is today. Present value has a large effect also, na?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, so you can think of it in these terms that the most important thing is what present value you are getting. I mean, present value is affecting your NPV. What is the cost or what is the revenue at time t is equal to 0? Then obviously what annually you are getting, it is also affecting it, but less than it. And the salvage value, it is of very mild curve. So in the exam, if you get direct question, just think of this equation. You can solve it.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving on to this part. Okay, one more thing. While we were discussing, there were some questions related to IRR and NPV in the starting. Did you guys get the clear answer for that, or do you still have the question?
No, sir. We're done with that.
Okay. Uh, so any question in this part? I mean, the first part we discussed.
Not till now. We'll discuss the second part.
Uh, yeah, second part is actually the last part we will be trying to solve. So that's why I'm asking. Before that part, do you have any question till now? Everyone, or related to anything else? Week one, week two, we discussed.
So we need to know about the break-even point and payback period.
Uh, okay, payback period and break-even point. Was this covered in week two?
So what about marginal cost?
Okay, how do you define marginal cost?
Yeah, and equation for that also.
No, you tell me what is the marginal cost? Uh, yeah, you have an idea, na?
Sir, actually, it is actual excess of the actual cost that is called marginal.
Um, sorry, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat?
The cost which
So marginal
incurred
additional cost that of the company
additional cost.
to produce one extra unit.
Yeah, that is a bookish definition. Okay. Uh, so what happens is that uh, this we will discuss at a later point. Let's say that to produce 10 units, you have an initial investment of 1 lakh per unit. Cost is 10,000 and you are selling each unit for 15,000. So for this whole thing, what is your benefit? You can determine your profit, right? Now what happens if you want to in add one more unit, will all these prices change? If suppose from the same machine you can get one additional unit, but for for that case the labor is charging overtime. I mean these 10,000, you can unit 10 units per day. Okay, so if you want to make one additional unit, you have to pay to extra to labor. It might be directly increasing, or it might be the case that labor is charging overtime. It can happen in both ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys put it in some better way if I have, if you got an idea what is happening? Okay, per unit cost might include so many things like, right, establishment charges, like for per day what you're paying, labor for each unit, material for each unit. Now in per unit cost you would have distributed your permit costs or overheads.
Sorry to disturb you, sir, but your screen is not visible to us.
Is this the case with everyone? Can anybody else see my screen? Um, Wait a minute. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess that might
I'll
be
just exit and join again. I think it's my problem.
okay. So what? Coming back to the example, this per unit cost contained so many parts. It might happen that for additional unit, your establishment charges, your permit, and these all remain same. Your labor increases more, material cost is increasing proportionally. So you need to calculate marginal increase in cost. You can calculate that, right? If all these values are given to you. The only point to think is that it is not necessary that it will increase in linear fashion every time. It can increase also, it can decrease also. Got it?
Sir,
Uh,
how it will decrease?
how it will decrease? Okay, let's suppose that your machine was working only on 80% capacity, 80% efficiency. You are not buying extra because you are worried that you won't be able to sell uh, 11 units. So you are making only 10, right? I mean, you had the capacity that your machine could make 12 units per day. You had, you didn't need labor for this case. You can buy any material that you want to, but you had the limit that you cannot sell more than 10. So you are making 10. Now the uh, market demand is of 1 unit extra. Your machine already can make 12 units. Your establishment charges are the same. Your material cost would be the same. Permit is same, and material cost will increase linearly. Rest of the things remaining same. So per unit cost will decrease, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that way it can decrease also, and increase also, like if your machine was already at uh, full capacity, 1 machine can make 10 units only. Now even if you want to make one additional unit, you will have to buy another machine. So for 20 unit capacity,
Yes, yes.
you are making 11 units only, so your production cost will increase very high. Selling price would not increase that much or remain same. So your margin, so do you get an idea?
Yeah.
Okay, there was one more question other than marginal cost. What was it? I remember hearing one more question. Okay, so coming to this point, what happened in this case was we compared only one only one value, right? We kept rest of the variables same. In real life, it might not happen like that. That you will have to take care of multiple values. So let's rewrite the NPV equation in this case. Mm, here this is p given a I comma 10 plus your salvage value is also 1 lakh, right? Have I written it correctly? Now, in case of uh, having two variables like I and uh, yeah, I and a in this case. So from what we have seen so far is that if your I increases, your NPV decreases, right? I mean, if rest all the other things are remaining constant, I increases, NPV decreases. So is this clear? I mean, by intuition to everyone now? We have solved questions on this basis. No, guys, we will move forward only after you get this point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So for rest of the things remaining constant, if I increases, NPV decreases. So for each I, can you calculate NPV?
So, but the similar kind of question is also in assignment.
Okay.
So, so the answer for that is NPV increases and IRR increases.
The equation might be different. I mean, here you can see that equation is uh, no, that is IRR, na? Internal rate of return. Wait a minute, which question are you talking about? Can you
So that
share?
might be possible
No, can you
with
share your?
NPV and IRR. That might be possible.
Sir, is there a
Like if
direct relationship
NPV
between
increases,
NPV
how
and
IRR
IRR?
can decrease?
No direct relationship because the equation with I is of it is a kind of I is in powers, right? Powers and fractions of power. So not that direct relationship. Uh, just let me.
Question
Yeah, but
NPV increases when IR increases, and NPV decreases when IR decreases. Just this type of questions that has already asked in assignment, sir.
okay. Uh, so let's see again what happens.
So
See,
can you please take some assignment question that happened before, like assignment 1 and 2, so that if you have done some mistakes, that will be quite clear for us.
Yeah, actually, did you get any assignment problem like that we haven't, I mean, similar question that we haven't discussed? Actually, you get similar questions in exams, so I have been asked not to discuss those assignment questions directly, but I can give you an idea on each question. So, uh, or you can ask them directly on discussion forum. Mm, okay, we'll see which question are you're talking about. Uh,
So if I can't hear you, I will join it again. Okay.
uh, okay,
I think I had a network issue. I will join.
is anybody else facing the same problem?
No, sir, your voice is clear.
Mm, okay, so let's do one thing. This two variable problem, Sir has already explained it so well, and we are not going to solve the numerical. We'll discuss the assignment problems you were having. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So uh, you can see this assignment, right? You already submitted it. Which question are you talking about?
So question number 3, question number 5.
Okay. Which of the following cases can occur? NPV decreases, IRR decreases, NPV increases, IRR increases in any net cash flow. Okay. No, we saw that this is not the case, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that. That
Yeah.
we have seen in the last lecture also that if NPV increases, then IR must be decreases.
Yeah. So, no, this is not the case. I will discuss it with course TS and make sure that it is corrected, or we will discuss it next time also. Now, coming to fifth question, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what is the problem here in this case?
So in fifth question, the I think the answer first option is correct. We are getting both the values with interpolation, 13.6 and 17.5.
Uh, yeah. See that this point, obviously we should discuss in detail. There is a break-even point, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, see, will I will write this equation for you again. Okay, and I will remove this all. NPV is equal to minus 1 lakh plus 15,000 P upon A, P given A, I comma 10. Right? If this is your equation, and this is NPV, so there is some value of I for which NPV is equal to 0. Right? We call it internal rate of return.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So NPV is equal to 0 and we have got IRR. Right? Now, what relationship we have? If NPV is greater than 0, that means I is less than IRR. Right? I mean, if NPV increases, I decreases
Yes.
in this case. So, you are getting a line like this. Can you see this line happening? Or should it be in the
Yes.
opposite direction? Okay, so anyway, if let this be the graph NPV, and you are given these 2 points, okay, I1, I2. Can you calculate IRR from here? You will have to extrapolate, right? Where NPV is equal to 0.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You have to extrapolate. But initially, you guys only argued that if this is a curve, how can we extrapolate or how can we interpolate? How can we take it as a straight line?
Yes, sir.
So what is happening is that when you have got very close values of where one NPV is positive and one NPV is negative, you can determine it. What is the IRR? Okay, or when you have got, okay, so you can only find it in this case. In this case, you will say that as it is going to be curve and you are getting these two values, this value you can't find, right? So you won't
Yes,
be
sir.
doing any extrapolation, only interpolation is possible. That's why they are telling that you need values where one is positive and one is negative, and then you find out where it is 0. Do you get the sense of the question now?
So can you repeat it? No, no. So the last part, the curve part,
Okay, so initially you guys argued that this relationship between NPV and I is a curve, right?
Yes, sir.
So if it is a curve and you have got these 2 points, I1, I2, NPV, I mean V2 and V1. So if you do it by extrapolation, you will get some value of I here, right? But as this is a
yes, yes,
curve, this value is quite different from the actual value. But in this,
yes,
but what happens when you have this kind of a situation? This kind of a situation where very close values you have of I1 and I2, where one value is positive and one value is negative. In that case, you can easily find, right, what is I for which NPV is equal to 0, and this is your IRR. So you see,
yes, yes.
in this case, you can't guess what is happening. I mean, extrapolation won't work. And in this case, you can find out. So that was the question.
How to identify that cases?
Uh, Easily. I mean, if you have got this kind of a situation now, where you have got one positive and one negative value very close to each other, very close to zeros. Like you are changing I by only 1%, and you are changing the sign from positive to negative. You can find out intermediate values. When the sign remains the same, you cannot extrapolate it. Uh, okay, still some confusion, I think, right?
Yeah,
So we will go back to one question that we already solved. That 19%, 20%. This was one question that how can we interpolate, right? You remember this
yeah,
question? That you have to find
yes,
out
yes,
internal rate of return for setup A. You are given P, you are given, I mean there is A, P, I and N. So let me write the equation here. What are the values? Minus 17, okay. Minus 17 lakh plus 4 lakh. into, let's suppose we are taking 19%, and this is 1, this is 2, minus 17 plus 4. So what are these values? Can you tell me 1 and 2? Calculate it fast, please. I mean, the values are circled. So it becomes minus 17 lakh plus 4 into 4.3389. Right? Minus 17 plus 4 into 4.1. Are you also getting these values?
Sir.
Okay, so you can see that if you change your I by 1%, I mean at 19%, you are getting a positive value, at 20%, you are getting a negative value. So in between these, there must be a value where you are getting it 0, right? So that's why we did extrapolation, and we already know that the answer is 19.6%. Now, let's suppose you would have taken very different values. Like this. I will do it again. I'll first take the trial with I is equal to 10% and I is equal to 15%. So, can you guys calculate it fast? So this value is like what, 7.58 lakhs, and NPV at 15% is 3.04 lakhs, right? I mean, they are quite different values, and for both the cases you are getting positive. So there is no way that in 10 to 15% there will be some value where you get 0. So that's why you cannot interpolate it. I hope you got an idea.
Yes, sir.
So I guess now you know how that answer is going to come. Anything else you would like to discuss? Any other question?
Yes, sir. There is another question. Just let me check.
Okay. In the assignments?
Yes, sir.
Okay, which one? Or
Can you
should
please open assignment 1?
assignment one?
Question number 8 of assignment 1, the cash flow with cash flow diagram.
Okay, going there. Yeah. So what is the question here?
The question number 8. I think so your screen is showing something else. Like,
Uh,
can you change it?
okay, okay. This give me a moment. Stop. Okay. So now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So what is your question here? I mean, we have already focused on these only, like P1, P's and A's and F's. Mm, okay. So let's try to do it numerically again. It would be better, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, just a moment, please. Do I have an empty screen here? Mm, yeah, and we have tables also right here. Is this similar to what we have been given there? I mean, the basic idea is the same, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell me, is there any relationship between what you are getting as returns and what is the salvage value? I mean, this F, in numerically, you can see that. I mean, from examples we have discussed, this is similar to initial cost that you have put in. This is the return you are getting, right? And this can be your salvage value.
Yes, yes.
So, is there any relationship between A and F? You can say that, oh, this can be arbitrary. This anything can happen. Similarly, with P and F also anything can happen. P and A also anything can happen. Now, but we have got tables. Let I be 10% and n is equal to 10 years. So you can get the ratio of P by A, right? You can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So for I is equal to 10 and P is equal to 10. Again P by 6.14 and F by A is no P by F, right? Mm, P by F or F by P? What will we take? Let's compare P by F only. So 6.14 and F given, no, P given F is 0.38. I mean, okay, sorry, I'm having a little trouble formulating this exactly in the questions frame. So, uh, let me go back to the question. What ratios are we discussing there? We are discussing if P1 by F1 is equal to P2 by F2, A1 by A2 is equal to I1 by I2, right? This was given. So I is same if A is same. Similarly, your F by A factor would be constant, right? Okay, guys, there is no need to go into this by fractions or values. Uh, you remember the equations, right? We wrote. I mean, if I go into this, we will have to see it numerically again. Where did we write? Yeah, this equation NPV is equal to, this is your F, no, this is again your P, P1, this becomes your A, and this becomes your F. You don't see any relationship between them of equivalence, right? I mean, you can't equalize them. It says basic as that. I mean, I'm having quite a trouble formulating this in words.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, can you guys do one thing? I mean, anybody of you post this on discussion forum? It would be better if I can write it out and I will send it there.
So for there, I think we should not understand in better way on discussion forum
Uh,
other than live session. That's why I've asked over here.
okay. Can you give me the liberty to bring this in the next session? I mean, I will definitely remember this and I will bring it in the next session. Will it be, I mean, will it work? You already have submitted the assignments, right? So we'll discuss this initially, and I would bring the exact example to show to you guys.
So in the next section, we are talking about.
Yeah, in the next session we will discuss this because this also is extended now by 10 minutes now.
Okay, so can you take that question number 5th instead of this?
Question number 5, just give me a moment. In the same assignment?
Yes, sir. Assignment 1 only.
Okay, so you have been given P, you have been given I, you have also been given that it is compounding in middle. So what would be the total amount at the end of 2 years? Right?
Sir, please show on the screen.
Okay, I'll find it, and you guys have that question open in front of you, right? So if I want, I can just write
Yes, sir.
it. That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That will be okay also.
So you have got P is equal to 10,000, I is equal to 3%, uh, compounding every 4 months, right? And you want to find
Yes, sir.
F is equal to what? N is equal to 2 years, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So what would have been your basic answer? I mean, what are you getting?
So I'll be getting 1160.
By what formula?
So 1 plus r raised to m, that effective rate of interest formula. 1 plus r raised to m, 1m minus 1.
And okay. So
So what about your thought on this?
um, Yeah, there might be some. Okay, let's see. There are 2 points now. You are getting 3% interest at every 4 months. So
Yes.
either this can be 3% annual or 3% for each 4 month. There can be two thoughts, right?
Yes, yes.
It is not clear here. Or is it clear? I mean, not clear in the.
So, but if it is compounded, if it is clear, no, it is clear, na sir. If it is compounded every 4 months, then in each year you have uh, 3 periods, na. So I think it is clear per year.
Okay, so
So what you are saying exactly, I think I'm not understanding.
what value are you getting?
So 1061.
Okay, 1061. Okay, see, what is happening is that they are telling you that initially you give 1000 rupees. At the end of 4 months, they will pay you 3% interest. So that becomes 1030. Then again, now if you solve like this, do you think your answer will change?
So I have done with both of the methods. I'm getting the same answer. So like this also, I think we have 6 periods
Yeah, 6 periods.
per year. If we are getting three, so the final value will be p into 1 plus I raised to n.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
and the interest rate per period would be 1%. Annually, we are getting three. Per period, we are getting one.
yeah,
So
so
from that, the answer is 1061.
yeah, that I
So you
agree.
can do.
No, what I'm telling you is that you are getting that you said now that you are dividing 3 by 3. I mean 3% by 3. I'm telling you not to divide.
Huh.
I mean
But why
this.
so that?
Uh, here the period is, it is not I nominal. Nominal interest rate is not given to you. It is just I for every 3 months. So in this case, if you find I effective, it would basically be uh, 1 plus 0.3 to the power 2 into 12 by 4. So how are you? I guess it would be 1.19 something. Yeah, 1.194. So you see how they are getting the answer? It is just the play
No,
of
so
words. It could have been anything.
don't understand.
Okay, okay. Um, uh, I'll take it again. What formula you are initially using is of I nominal. When you are given annual interest rate, here you are not given annual interest rate. You are given the interest that you are earning every 4 months. So initially your amount is 1000. Okay, at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 4 months, it is becoming 1030, 3% increase. At t is equal to 8, again that will be 3% increase. So 1061. So the value that you are quoting at 2 years, it is coming at 8 months only. At t is equal to 12, again 3% increase. 1093. So if you see, what is happening is that 3% you are increasing 6 times, right? 1 plus 0.03 to the power 6. This is the same 6 we are getting here. So if you solve it, it would come around 1.194, and if you multiply it by 1000, your answer will be 1994. Can you see how is it happening now?
Yes, yes, yes. So I understand this concept, but
Yeah, see, that is
I
what I'm
think the
telling you.
question is about nominal. So
No,
how to identify that? I'm asking.
uh, see, let
Is it
me
nominal or is it?
see, if it is not written that it is nominal, or it is not written that it is annual interest rate, you have to take it as a simple I.
So, but I think generally they are not.
Mm,
Generally, they are not giving that
yeah, yeah, generally
because
in
if interest rate is given, it is considered as
annual interest rate.
nominal itself. That's why they are doing compounding, na?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that
why I'm
is,
saying this.
yeah, that is true. But in this case, in this question, it was not that clear, and it meant that only that the bank is paying 3% interest rate every 4 months.
So you are accepting it, but
Yeah, yeah. See, yeah, I am agreeing it because I also make similar questions, and we face the same problem. Like the question is ambiguous, and we get two answers. But here the acceptable one is this only. If the wording would have been just the compounding would have been written at the end, like you are getting 3% every 4 months, then you would have done it in this manner, na? 11194.
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Thank you,
that
sir.
will help. Thank you so much, sir,
Okay.
for your kind assistance.
Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Sir, one thing, sir, I want to ask you, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, how this course would be benefited for the project management course, sir? So if I had completed project MTech from project management, how this course would be benefited, sir?
Okay. See, you are a civil engineer, so you know that on site our job is basically techno managerial. I mean, we are more into the management part. So, if you have got, if you are at the higher level and you have to analyze what's happening in terms of cost, be it project financing, or be it choosing the cheaper alternative, or be it thinking about owning or renting, like do you want to own your own equipment, or do you want to rent out the whole job, or do you want to do some things in house, have the whole crew, or uh, do it pass it on to subcontractor, and many more. I mean, such decisions, they are economical, right? So this course will help you in analyzing those. See, alternatives you will have to find out. Being a civil engineer, you will know that okay, these alternatives I have, but which is the best one numerically, from finance point of view, this course will help you determine those. And this is introduction to accounting and finance. So many introductory terms that were quite skipped from engineering curriculum, about finance, about what is happening, and so those things will also be clear, helpful in general life.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I think we should end our session now. We are already at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see you
Thank you, sir.
guys.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So see you guys in the next session, same time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Signing off. Bye.